Hi, I'm Chuck, and I want to welcome you to this class, Applied Calculus 1. In this particular video, what I want to do is to go over some of the basics of the course, how it works, how the Canvas site is set up, just to orient you to some of the course expectations as well. Okay, right now, as you can see on the left side of the screen, you are on the home page in Canvas for this particular course. Over on the right-hand side are a few things that I want to hit as we go over this particular video. This class meets in Muntz Hall in 233. The basic information for contacting me is located right here. I'm fine to go by Dr. Emenaker or by Chuck, whichever you prefer. My email address is here. Okay. And my office number is 353C Muntz Hall. My office hours are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11:15 to 12:05. Now I have several classes. I have a class at 9, 10, 11. I have classes in the afternoon as well, so I'm kind of busy. And this is just a time frame that wound up working out okay. If you need to get hold of me at some other time, for example, your schedule doesn't allow us to get together during this time, just let me know. Talk to me in class or email me. Now, this is really important. If you send me an email, I can only reply if you send me an email from your UC email account. UC policy does not allow me to reply to other emails. We're going to take a look at the syllabus here in a bit. One of the things that's absolutely critical that you realize in this course is that the most common source of errors in calculus is not the calculus, but algebra. Your algebra needs to be top-notch to have the greatest chance of success in this course. We're going to start by reviewing some basic algebra skills. We'll start with linear equations and move on from there. But there is a series of videos here that's really nice that you might want to look through, not in the entirety, but it provides a playlist starting with how do you study math. Now you may have said, there's nothing to it. I've done math before. What is there to it? There are a lot of people who hit calculus and find out what I've done in the past doesn't work now. Not uncommon. That doesn't mean you're bad or there's anything wrong with you. It's just this is the first time you're really being challenged seriously in a math class. So if you're looking for ideas on how to study math, this is a good video. As you look down this playlist, there are videos on linear equations, nonlinear equations, all kinds of good stuff like that. The textbook that we're going to be using for this course is available online. You will need to set up your My Math Lab account. Your homework will be coming from the textbook. This MyLab account also has videos in it from Pearson that go along with each section. To get into this account, you're going to need this code right here. Step-by-step directions on how to set up your MyLab are provided right here. Please follow these carefully. If you're being asked to pay, you're at the wrong site. Okay? In order to get to the MyLab, over on the left side, see here where it says MyLab and Mastering? That's where you go to get things set up. The fall calendar is located here. It lists vacation days, end of semester, reading days, things of that nature. As you go through this course, you will find there are times where you're stuck. There are 4 sources of help that come to mind right off the top of my head. 1, come and see me. Okay? I want to spend time helping you be successful in this class. 2nd, go to the Math Lab. If our times just don't overlap where you can get in to see me, that's fine. See the folks down in the Math Lab. If you want information about that, all you got to do is click on the QR code right here and you have all the information you need. 3rd thing, there are videos provided with the online textbook. We will take a look at those and how to access those in a little bit. Last thing, watch YouTube videos. There are a number of really good sources. One of them I particularly like is Professor Leonard. He's very patient. He goes step by step. You can actually see a human being in that one. The organic chemistry tutor is a second one. 3 blue, 1 brown's another one. There are lots of them. So the whole point of this is to help you to realize that even if it's 2 in the morning and Chuck's in bed asleep, you have sources of help. Math Lab's not going to be it, but these latter two, the videos from the textbook created by Pearson and the videos on YouTube, they're available 24/7. If you realize that during the course of the semester, there are going to be some days that you are going to need to miss for religious accommodations or holidays, you need to let me know this up front. Okay, the university policy is that I need to be informed in writing within the first 14 days. Okay, notice it says no later than 14 days after the first day of instruction. And it does say, yep, written notice specifying the date or dates when you're asking for alternative accommodations. Okay, glad to work with you. I just don't need people coming up the last minute and saying, oh, that's right, tomorrow I can't be here because da da da. Okay, it takes time to set stuff up, to get things arranged. I need to know ahead of time to be of best help to you. Okay, we talked about the syllabus. The syllabus is listed. I intentionally try to make things easy for you to find, or hopefully easy for you to find. One location of the syllabus is right here on the home page. Another, if you look over to the left, is on the tab called Syllabus. Okay, let's take a look at the syllabus at this point. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. You can read, okay? But there are a few highlights that I want to point out. Just thinking about it. Here it comes. Well, it's taking its time about it here, isn't it? Okay. First up, already listed. Title of the book, there it is. You're going to access it via a program called Access. In other words, you click on the MyLab stuff and away you go. To be in this class, you have to have a minimum grade of C- in college algebra. If you've not taken college algebra or not used the online placement, math placement, you don't need to be in this class. Okay. Do not think you're going to save time by skipping college algebra and just say, well, I'll skip that because that could take me a semester and it put me behind. What usually happens, regularly happens, is people skip their college algebra and say, well, I'll give it a shot. And they don't make it through Applied Calc 1 because the algebra is just eating them alive. And what winds up happening then is in the spring semester, they're now taking college algebra, and then in the summer or next year in the fall, taking Applied Calc 1, that person didn't save any time at all. In fact, they're at least a semester and maybe as much as a year behind by not having the prerequisites for this course. Calculators. You are not allowed to use your computer, iPads, or cell phones on any tests, quizzes, or the final exam. You may use a handheld calculator, something like a TI-83 or 84 is fine. Those I can help you with without a whole lot of trying to figure out what's going on. If you have a Casio or an HP, we're probably going to have to look it up on YouTube on how to get things to work. Okay. The final exam time, as of the point where I'm recording this video, has not been listed yet by the registrar's office. Now, homework. Okay, this is really important. Please catch this. Every day when we finish, or 2 days when we finish a particular section, okay, in the book, you will be expected to go ahead and start working on the homework for that section. To find the homework for a section, you need to go to modules. I'll show you this in a minute, okay? The homework is to be completed using paper and pencil. No, you're not just going to be clicking buttons on the computer screen and moving on. You have to work each problem out by hand, showing me exactly what you did, step by step. Not just a miracle occurs here and wow, you did the last 8 steps in your head. That's amazing. Okay, not going to work. The way I will check your homework is every Friday there will be a quiz. While you are taking the quiz, I will just come around the room and ask to see your homework, for example, from section R.4 or 1.3, whatever might be appropriate that week. And I will only grade it for completeness. I won't check each problem for plus signs and negative signs and stuff like that. I just want to see, did you take a run at it? If you did, that's 1 point on your quiz. The quizzes are 10 points. One of those 10 points is a homework grade. If you don't have your homework, that's a 0. Now notice, without your homework with you on Friday, there's no way you can ever get an A on a quiz in this class. Be sure that you bring all the homeworks that were assigned for that week. Okay? Really important. Okay. Quizzes, tests, things of that nature. Unless there is a test given that week, you will always have a quiz on Friday. Through the course of the semester, I understand things happen. You will be allowed to drop your 2 lowest quiz grades for the term. So if you miss a class, well, that quiz grade is going to be a 0, and that would be one of them that you drop. Okay. If, for example, you didn't do real well on one of them, and you get maybe a 3 or a 5 or something like that, if you have all of your quiz grades, I'll just go through and I'll drop the 2 lowest quiz grades. Really important, there are no makeups of quizzes. The reason for this is I try to post the quiz solutions that same Friday so that people aren't waiting forever to see how do you work number 2 on there. And I can't turn around and then give you the quiz on Monday after the answers have been posted for the last 65 hours or so. So no makeups of quizzes, but every time that you come in, you will find under modules where I have a section titled quizzes. It'll give a blank copy of the quiz. It'll give a copy of the quiz with handwritten answers. So there is a way to study for things. For tests, depending on how the time is going in the semester, we'll either have 2 or 3 tests. Okay, the dates for these will be voted on in class by you. Okay, notice down below I have approximate dates. See, around September 23, test 1 is approximately this week. That's a reminder for me, oh yeah, we need to have a test, let's vote on it. And you vote. This gives you the opportunity to figure out what day would work best for you. I don't want you having a test in calculus on the same day where you have a test in chemistry and a test in physics or some crazy thing like that. Real important, if you miss a test, there are no makeups of the test, but the final can be used to replace a test grade. So for example, if you miss test 2 for whatever the reason might be, we'll just take whatever the grade is that you score on the final exam, and that will be substituted in for test 2. Now, if you take all 3 tests and the final is higher than one of those test grades, the final exam grade can replace a low test grade, which gives you an opportunity to replace a grade where, wow, that didn't go so great. Okay. Just trying to give you second chances along the way. Here are basically the dates where hopefully we'll get this stuff done. We get through the class pretty nicely. It's okay, you'll be fine. Okay, grading summary. Tests, 300 points. The quizzes, there'll be about 90 points for quizzes after we drop the 2 low quiz grades. The final exam is 200 points. Notice quizzes and tests are about 400, so the final is about 1/3 of your exam or your course grade. With being allowed to drop quizzes, with being allowed to replace a test grade with a final exam grade, you have quite a few opportunities to improve your grade. I very rarely ever find it necessary to deviate, in other words, to curve grades, and this usually works out to be pretty much the grading system for the course. Okay, it's listed there for you. One thing that's very important to keep in mind here. The 1000 level classes at UC in mathematics offer what is called an NP grade. This means not proficient. If you find this class is not going as well as you would like it to, stick with it. And you say, but I'm getting a D, I'm getting an F. Fine, stick with it, because at the end of the semester, if you have a grade lower than C-, you will not be assigned the D or the F. Instead, what you're assigned is a grade of NP, which means not proficient. Okay? This grade, and it's important to hear this, does not affect your GPA. When you retake the course, the NP is automatically replaced by the grade that you earn in that class. If you drop from a class, several not good things can happen. Okay? One of those being that you might drop below 16 or 12 hours. If you drop below 12 hours, you're no longer a full-time student. This is a significant factor if you are receiving financial aid. That financial aid is oftentimes contingent on being a full-time student. If you drop the class, you're no longer full-time. That puts your financial aid in jeopardy for that semester. That's a problem. Okay. A second thing or reason for not dropping the class is, an NP grade does not affect your GPA. If you stay in the class, you're going to learn stuff. Are you going to know everything there is to know? No, but when you retake the class, this provides you with more background, and it allows you the opportunity to come into the class the next time with some background that you would not have had otherwise. So stay with it. There is absolutely no reason to drop this class. The NP grade will protect you. Now, religious accommodations we've talked about. There's a lot of this I don't care to read through with you. You can do this on your own. Okay? I'm not planning on taking attendance in class. You're adults. You know what happens when you miss a math class. And trust me, there will never be a day where you could walk in and say, did we do anything in the last class? And I just say, nah, we just goofed around. We will always have a full class of calculus. Okay. One thing it is important to do here is to realize your time commitment. This class is going to suck up a lot of time. You, outside of class, are going to normally spend 6 to 9 hours per week studying and doing homework. That's on the average. For every hour that you're in class, you can anticipate 2 or 3 hours of work outside of class, especially once the class gets rolling. Maybe not here at the beginning, but as things get going, yeah, you're going to have a full day. Okay? So be careful. What I would suggest that you do is right now, before the semester gets going, get out your schedule and book in intentionally schedule times where you put in calculus study. Maybe it's on Tuesday at 4 to 5, Thursday 1 to 2, Saturday, I don't know, 6 to 7 in the evening, and then some other hours as well. Make sure that you book yourself at least 6 to 9 hours a week. And stick with those times. Okay, as you start sliding away from that, what's going to wind up happening is you're going to be in trouble. Okay, if you find that you're having difficulty staying up with this class, swing by and see me as early as you realize that you're in trouble, and we'll get you caught up and try and keep you ahead. Now, as far as the class structure goes in Canvas, there are a couple of tabs over here to the left-hand side. One of them is grades. Obviously, that contains grades. The next one down is the MyLab and Mastering. What I want to take you to now is modules. Notice there is not a separate page for quizzes or things like that. What I've tried to do is to keep things fairly simple. Basically, everything that you need is in the Modules tab. In fact, this video with the course expectations is right here. If you need help, remember the 4 different suggestions I made earlier? It's right here. The homework for the entire semester. See if this will open up for us. Is listed right here. So if you've got some extra time and you're feeling like, wow, you know what, I think I can make some progress on this. Maybe work ahead a section or two, especially while we're in the review part. Okay, all the homework's listed here. These are the problems from each section that I'll be looking for on Friday. So for example, the first week will probably be R4 and R5. So what I'll be looking for on the quiz that'll cover R4 and R5 are these 2 homeworks. And on Friday, we'll just randomly have a drawing to see, am I going to check for R4 or am I going to check for R5? If you've got it, great. Lay it on the table next to you while you're taking the quiz. I'll check it. If you don't have it, that's 0 out of 1 for that. I will not take them late. Okay. One of the things that is important for you to realize is deadlines are deadlines. When you get out in the working world, you know, if you've got a client coming in at 9 o'clock for a sales presentation and you show up at 10:30, nobody's going to be happy and you're going to be lucky if you've still got a job. Deadlines and times mean something. Okay. And we will stick with that idea throughout the entire semester. Okay, so here they all are for the entire semester. I'm going to go to the next page. On this next page, we are going to see quiz 1. This is where I will be posting the solution as well as a blank copy of quiz 1. The blank copies are there. It's something that you can print off and practice on. Use them as review sheets as we're coming up to the test, and use them as a review sheet as we're coming up to the final exam. The bulk of the course is going to come down in the week-by-week listing of the class. For each day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I will try and have it structured something like this. Some of this is not populated yet. Class hasn't met. For every day that we meet, I will try to have 3 sections listed. What's happening this week? Notice there'll be a quiz Friday, August 30th. Remember to bring your homework. If anything else important comes up, I'll list it there. What are we doing today? Section R4. Changing calculator computers this fall. UC is going to be providing me a different one. I'm hoping I can use that one to make videos. If I can, I will record the class, and a recording of each class will be posted on that page. Homework, as we finish a section. So for example, when we finish section R.4, you just automatically go to the homework assignment section and do that homework. Okay, and that's the way things work. Okay, to get to the homework, you need to get to My Math Lab. Let's take a look at how this works. If you'll recall, back on the home screen, there was a code given. I'm not going to go back to that. This is moving too slowly to try and move through multiple pages. But you'll have that code there. When you enroll in the class and this opens for you to access, you need to go to the My Lab and Mastering. On that first page, it's going to have you set up your access to several things. One, this is going to allow access to the textbook. Recall, every homework assignment is going to come out of that textbook, and you saw earlier in the module section, you're going to be needing to access the book on given pages for the homework. Second thing is there are videos. Okay, so on the My Lab, you have access to the textbook. There will be at times some online homeworks that I will give you to take a look at, and you will also have the videos available. I'll show you how to access those things in class once I get that all set up and we're within the time frame of the course. Okay, hopefully this kind of gets you oriented to things. Hope this makes some sense for you. Please do not hesitate to ask me when you have questions. Okay, you aren't a bother to me. Okay, seriously, I would not have gone into teaching if I didn't want to work with you. You are not a bother. You're the reason why I'm here. Okay, so don't be afraid to ask questions. I look forward to meeting you in class. Take care.